Hey guys, Brig here, and today we're going to be talking about all the latest gold making news whilst opening up my mailbox for the past few weeks. But first of all, I'd like to wish you all Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I've not actually done a video in 2 or 3 weeks, which is really bad. I don't think I've ever gone this long without posting a video, but we have been very busy. It's been the holiday time, but I'm back playing now. I'm just doing some new stuff on my main, which is very exciting. Got some new characters leveled up as well, so I'm very excited about that. And we've also got some gold making to get going with. But because I've been so busy, haven't really been playing much. In fact, I haven't opened the mail in the past 3 weeks, so hopefully we should have a reasonable amount of gold in the mail. But let's have a go and see what's happening. So we've got 740,000 gold in the first lot of mail. And we've got a bit of a range on this server. Most of that is from BOEs. We've got a 400k ring sale. That was only last week, so these rings, if you get a high item level BOE ring, guys, you can sell it for a lot of gold still. We've also got some elixir rapid mines, which I've been selling off because I just have a lot in my bank and I kind of want to increase cash flow. And Minion of Grumpus as well. I didn't actually farm any of the Christmas dailies this year. I know a lot of people did. It actually finishes today, so today's the last day you could do it. But yeah, it's just been a very strange expansion for gold makers. I mean, look at me selling off my Minion of Grumpuses, selling off my elixir rapid mines. I've got loads in the bank, so it's fine I'm selling some of them off now. But realistically, it's been so strange because the past few expansions, people have been telling you to invest all of your gold into items because of inflation. The gold's going to be worth less the more time goes on, and the items are going to be worth more the time goes on. And that's been the case for years and years and years in WoW. And this expansion is just completely turned on its head. That's just been completely the opposite. Having gold right now in this present moment has been seen to be the best thing to do, and that's because there's been gold deflation. So whatever items you're investing in, they're just going to go down in price pretty much, and that's been very painful for people like me who invest a lot. As you can see, I've got a load of different items here, almost all of which have gone down in price recently. Still gone up from when I bought them. For example, I bought the rapid mines, average of about 80k. They're selling for 95 at the moment, so gone up a little bit, but then again I sold them off just now for around the same price, so not been great. The Minion of Grumpus, again, I bought them for 110k like a year ago, and over that past year they've just gone down in price. I should have sold them off before BFA launched, but no one predicted the deflation. What else have we got? Medallion of the Legion. I was certain this was a good investment, and actually I did buy them for an average of 5k, but I thought they'd be worth way more than the 7k that they are now. Lovebirds are about the same, and Spring Striders, well, that's been a good investment. In fact, I'm going to sell one now. Look at that. I bought them for an average of 30k, and they're selling for 70k on my server right now. So the Spring Striders have been good, and the Noble Garden Bunnies have also been good. In fact, I'm going to sell one of those now. 12k I bought them for, selling for 44k. In fact, that's probably a bit inflated, but could still be worth trying to sell. And yeah, again, obviously the Crash and Thrash-In toys, it's just been Christmas, so those are going to be at a low price. But yeah, it's been interesting, and all I can say to you guys is now is not the time to be investing. I would just be trying to get as much gold as possible, and so you can sell as much good stuff and make enough good flips as possible, because investing right now just isn't worth it. We have no idea what items are going to be worth in a few months' time. We've got no idea what the WoW token's going to do. And that's really, it's really been a very confusing time for gold makers basically, but hopefully things will stabilize soon and will return to a steady surge in, inflation and all of that, because it's not good, especially for me when I've made a lot of my gold in the past through investments, and I just can't really do it at the moment because it's just way too risky and things are just losing value, unfortunately. Anyway, moving to my next server, we have ourselves 316k. Again, most of that is from the BOE sales, which have been fairly good. The legs I sold a couple of weeks ago for 140k, and if we check how much I bought them for, let us see. Expenses, the legs, I bought them for 85k, so that's almost double the gold, which is very nice. So in terms of recent gold making news, right today, Billis Anixia, who you might know from the WoW Economy subreddit, has recently released some new TSM strings, and if I can show you them here, we have ourselves an Old Deer BOE string, the new Raid BOE string, and he updated, or maybe he didn't update, but he has got a world BOE string as well. So he updated BOE strings for the Old Ear raid, for the new Desire Allure raid, and for world BOEs, and they've got all of the different possibilities. So there's like thousands of items, and this is really good if you sell BOEs, because it means it will take into account of any different proc, any Titan Forge, any extra stats or sockets or anything. So it's just going to be really good if you're interested in selling the BOEs. They don't come with an operation, but that's the whole point. You want to assign whatever operation you want, something like sell for whatever 150% region market average, or that was just random, but sell it for something like that. Make your own operation. Done lots of videos on how to do that, but if you are interested in selling BOEs, here they are. And on this server we have ourselves 720,000, and nothing actually too huge, it's just a lot of sales. I mean, the biggest sale was this 190 BOE that I just sold recently, but steady sales again, pretty much all pets and BOEs as they are on all of my random servers. And we bought these patterned leggings for 90k and we sold them for 190, so we made over double our gold on those. But I think the main topic of concern for people at the moment in terms of gold making is just how to make gold. Is gold making dead? If you guys go on the WoW Economy subreddit right now, there's about 6 or 7 different posts just on the first page is why are the servers dead? How do I make gold right now? It's impossible, etc, etc. And I'll be honest guys, it is a big problem. Another reason why I haven't been doing many gold making videos, and why almost all the gold makers have kind of stopped doing gold making videos, or maybe not stopped but at least slowed down, is because gold making is just a lot harder at the moment. There's not many exciting new things coming in that you can go and make a ton of gold with. There's not some really interesting tactics. I mean, all the old stuff still works, but it's just not making very exciting gold. And for the gold makers who are used to making big gold like myself and like loads of other people, it's just a bit disappointing because of the deflation to see the numbers just going down and down and down, and no real new things being introduced in order to make gold. And it is a bit of a problem for people, and I can see why people are getting, kind of worried by it. And there is no real simple answer on how to make gold right now. It's just not good. You can craft things and try and sell them, and if you're on a high populated server, you should get some sales, but the profit margins are really small. And if you're on a low populated server, the sales are going to be very, very slow, but at least you might be able to make a bit of profit. So it is a tough time, unfortunately, and I just hope with the new raid coming out in the next month or so, then we're going to have a lot better time. Maybe it's coming out in just a couple of weeks or something. I don't really know when it's coming out, but whenever it comes out, there should be an influx of players. Apparently it is a very good raid, so I've heard, so that's always good. But that should bring a few players back, and that should mean the economy gets kickstarted again. People buying potions, enchants, gems, everything gets bought again because there's a whole new gear that's getting introduced into the game. So that's exciting, and that should definitely buck things up. But for the next few weeks until that happens, it's going to be very, very slow, unfortunately. I think the important thing is to try and build up your liquid gold. Number one, because of deflation and everything else, gold's just becoming very important to have, and you don't want to have it invested in items that are going to go down in price probably. So keep up your liquid gold, and luckily there are actually some better methods for getting liquid gold that have been introduced in patch 8.1. The mission tables are awarding slightly more gold, and the emissaries are awarding quite a lot of gold. You can get like 2,000 gold plus, and if you do the emissary once you're exalted and you get like the 10k reward box, I forgot what they're called, they give you like 5,000 gold. So even if you are exalted, it's worth still doing the emissaries. Number one, to get the initial gold from the emissaries, and number two, once you get the 10,000 bonus paragon box, you get even more gold. So that's a fairly good way, especially if you have some alts, to get up some passive gold. Quite interesting, on this server we've sold a fair few pets for quite good prices. In fact, 11 days ago it looks like someone just went and bought quite a few pets, which is always nice. Now, one item that I've noticed that's selling pretty well recently still is the Veiled Crystal, in terms of its price at least. So the Veiled Crystals obviously are the enchanting item you get from disenchanting any purple gear in BFA, and on my server at least they've kept their price. They're around 400 gold, and they've been like that for the past month, so they haven't fallen any more in the past month. And looking at the median price on the EU, it's still around 500 gold. So again, it's quite easy to get purples in BOE, to get epic gear. You can do anything. You can do war fronts, you can do mythics, mythic zeros, drop a lot, and you're not going to be needing them anymore unless you're on a really low geared ult, so you might as well disenchant them. And again, it's a great way to get pretty much passive gold. I mean, obviously it's not completely passive, you still have to sell the crystals, but the crystals will always sell. So I really think the passive gold making at the moment, especially if you don't have much gold, is not too bad, and it's a lot better than it was at the start of the expansion. And I think if you just get a few ults, and you have a few ults with enchanting, and you just go around and disenchanting the items you get and doing the emissaries, you're going to build up a fair amount of passive gold, and that's going to help you, especially when the raid comes out, because you're going to be able to buy up materials, craft with them, and sell them for a profit. So I think that's the best plan moving forward. And on this server, we got ourselves 540k, including 280 from those braces. Those braces we bought for 150. They were 395, so they are like the ultimate item, and they have a socket as well. So it's pretty much the best item in the game in terms of item level. But I don't know about the stats or anything else. I don't know if it's actually good for male users, but either way, I bought it for 150 and we sold it for 290. I was hoping to sell it for a lot more, but in the end still made double the gold, so can't complain. In terms of other passive gold making methods, you can get some ults with either engineering or alchemy, because they have great daily crafts. The alchemy transmutes can make you really solid, like 500 gold a day doing the living steel crafts, for example. And the engineering, you can just craft items every day, for example, for the mount. So you can craft your Jard's peculiar energy source every day once you have the recipe, which is pretty easy to get. And then eventually you can make sky golems. So again, if you just have a lot of ults, which you probably will do at the moment because there's not much else to do in the game, then you can get some pretty good passive gold making going. I actually sold an item on this server yesterday, Magical Crawdad, for 76k. Now these have a region market average of 30k, and I usually buy them for around 15 or 16k. So I made a lot of gold with that. People do seem to be buying pets still, guys. Maybe because there's not much else to do in the game. People are starting to do stuff like pet battles and get some achievements and get all that going. It's definitely something to think about. You know, because people aren't buying the main items such as enchants or whatever as much as they were, then maybe you can start selling some more vanity items, pets, mounts, etc. Because especially when the game's not doing so well, people are looking for things to do. That could be a good thing to invest in, or at least not to invest, but to start selling or start farming if you maybe want something to do. But yeah, in terms of my general thoughts on the game as a whole, obviously like every other WoW YouTuber, they're not too happy at the moment. The thing is, I can't really understand what's wrong with the game. There's just something missing, it seems. Maybe people aren't as driven to play as they always have been. Because I've watched so many different WoW YouTube videos talking about how bad the game is and, you know, why people aren't playing and people are quitting. And I've kind of agreed with most of them. But I can't really pinpoint exactly what it is. It's just the expansion as a whole is pretty underwhelming, unfortunately. I am playing a lot more at the moment, in fact, because I've got some friends who are playing and I'm doing a lot of stuff with them, so that's fun. And I am excited for the new raid. I'm going to join a raiding guild, I think, because apparently it's one of the best raids they've done, which I'm very excited for. But in terms of the expansion as a whole, I'm pretty underwhelmed by it. Warfronts suck, islands kinda suck, and I just hope they improve things, particularly in the next patch. And that should hopefully reinvigorate the game and get more people playing, because particularly for gold makers, if you don't have people playing, then the sales go down, your profits go down, and that's never fun for a gold maker. And we have 502k on this server, mostly made up again of some expensive BOE sales. And on our final two servers, this guy we have 300k, and on this guy we have 150k. Overall that adds up to 4.1 million gold that we've looted in this video, which is quite nice. And in terms of profits, pretty good actually. I'd say over 2 million gold in profit. but that is over like the past 3 weeks, so it's less than $1 million gold profit a week, which isn't quite as good as usual. But since I haven't been playing at all pretty much the past 2 weeks until last week, I'm fairly impressed still not going too badly. And the videos will start coming out more frequently, guys, don't worry about that. I'm going to be talking about how to make gold in the slump, a bit like we did in this video, and we're going to be talking about all of different gold making things, so do stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, and until next time, see ya.